And they've got shutouts in 6 of their last wins. Just come out and play their own game and then take advantage of whatever chances they're given against an Illinois State team that has struggled. For Illinois State, we talked about it briefly in the open as well. Be aggressive. They've got nothing to lose out here today. They're not going to make it to the conference tournament. This is their championship game, and if they get set pieces, they need to capitalize on those set pieces.
Those set pieces, that's been a bit of a problem this season. Being generous has been a bit of a problem this season for Illinois State. They've had opportunities, and it always seems like it's just a little high, a little to the left, a little to the right, a little there, a little here.
And a mistake right there at the beginning as they kick it right out of bounds. Not really even under a whole lot of pressure in that back end.
So Missouri State, you see him right there. As Nathan said, they travel very well. A lot of the players are all from a similar area, whether it's the Kansas City, Overland Park area, or St. Louis. And part of that was by design, so their fans could come and cheer them on and see some set pieces like this in front of the goal, but punched away by the Illinois State defense. Just sweeping it. It'll be the first corner kick of the day for the Bears.
And pressure already from Missouri State. It's what they do. They like to score goals. They get out there. They take advantage of that. As I mentioned, they're 8-1-1 over the last 10 since September 8th. Haley Chambliss has 5 goals, 12 points. Grace O'Keefe has 11 points and 4 goals in conference play. Leads Missouri State in shots, so they can come from a variety of players.
Speaking of which, Grace O'Keefe sends this one in. And she might get another shot at it, and it will be another corner kick. The weather today is blustery, but not cold, kind of warm, low 70s.
Yeah,
it's a pretty autumn day. Wind is strong, though. There you go. Out of the south at 20 miles an hour, it feels stronger.
You can see that flag and the officials' flag right there, and it's blowing the direction Missouri State is going here in the first half.
The shot will bend towards the goal. It was a little long. If you line those up, If you do just crafty enough little draw shot, you might be able to get.
Yeah.
You might be able to score right off the kick.
Yeah, it makes those corner kicks dangerous too. You look at Missouri State as well. 8 different players have scored this year, so they can bring it in from a variety of places.
Crafty with the ball there was Haley Chambliss. Want to keep an eye on her. Number 24 in brown. Outside's Benedict, trying to pilfer this Illinois State defense, and Missouri State, they've been doing a good job of it so far in the early going of this match. Get ready for another throw-in. Missouri State, they started the season a little rocky, and then, as you said, since September 11th, they've been on a tear. Last 10 games, outstanding stuff.
The only loss in that stretch was against Murray State, who's a 2-1 loss against Murray State, and they're fighting just to get into the conference tournament as Missouri State lines up for another corner.
And that'll be Grace O'Keefe. We'll have the starters for you in a moment after this corner kick. See there, Haley Glover there creeping in, getting her camera time. O'Keefe, right-footed. That'll bend towards the goal again. And it's forced away, and here is Griffin. Hillary Griffin. Well, they slow the pace down. She had a breakaway opportunity. We'll see if Illinois State can get their offense set up as they'll have their first real crack at it. And with this wind today, as strong as it is, you want to keep those passes on the ground for the most part.
Yeah, you get it up in the air, especially going into the wind. It's not going to go very far, and it's going to be trouble clearing the ball out in the first half for Illinois State if they don't keep them low and on the ground and use their speed that way.
McLaughlin tried to shuttle that ahead up to Baker. Not able to get it to her. And then the excellent center backs for Missouri State. We'll talk about them momentarily. Here near side. McLaughlin. Played back to Sammy Senek.
Good ball control here for Illinois State. Their first real build-up of this match.
In front, there's that pass. You see the wind blew it back a little bit. Bisher regathers. Nice pass here. Can Illinois State capitalize with Baker? With a little extra pass you see what they were trying to do is get them set up, but a little too
smart.
generous.
You know, they kept everything low and on the ground and didn't get anything too far away from themselves and were able to make some crisp passes, get into the box, and now they're going to try to do it again.
Player we highlight in the opening, Baker. Senek. Bisher. And Illinois State showing a calm disposition here, Leocrati.
The good thing about the wind, especially here, is they're used to it. You get such windy days here in October and late September in the fall in central Illinois and in the Midwest that you get used to practicing in these conditions.
Will practice pay off? Yes! How about that? Illinois State gets on the board first. They beat one of the top goalies in the conference.
What a build-up and what a goal. A great finish by Illinois State. They got the ball into the middle of the field. Missouri State was overplaying towards the near sideline, and Illinois State took advantage of that. Got it behind the defense and got in there with their shot, and it's Haley Glover from Columbia, Illinois, who gets the goal.
So Haley Glover, 6th minute, Illinois State. Their offense has been on a bit of a resurgence. Last 3 games they've scored 4 times, but they had been on a huge drought in conference play, and now Illinois State able to get on the board first.
She leads the team in points. That's her 5th goal of the year.
Here's the starters for Missouri State: Day, Ronnie, Jackson, Fosno, White, Benedict, Crouch, O'Keefe, Uruwe, and Cambless. And here's Illinois State. So you'll see them: Crotty, Glover, Bisher, Rayberger, Baker, Smith, Hernandez, Lola, McLaughlin, Griffin, Eilert, and Brown. And a big beginning for Glover, as that puts Illinois State unexpectedly, just 6 minutes in, on top of the leaderboard, and they still got pokers in the fire here, Nathan.
Yeah, and Hillary Griffin got the assist on that goal as well. Her 6th of the year. That leads all freshmen in Missouri Valley Conference play. So good year for the freshman. Hillary Griffin getting that pass over to Haley Glover for the goal, and a nice combination play on that goal for Illinois State. And it was all Missouri State for the first 4 minutes, and then Illinois State was able to kind of settle in on offense. They got a couple of opportunities in the box and took advantage.
Bisher. And this is not what you want to see if you're Missouri State. This Illinois State offense has shown some life here in the first 10 minutes.
And that might give Valpo a little bit of a boost as well as they're playing their game. They know they have to win to get the number 1 seed, but they also need Missouri State to lose, so might give them a little bit of boost in their contest, which is going on right now.
And once things settle, we're going to go through that breakdown again, because it's very critical to this, how this game is going to be played, the context for this game. Illinois State looking to be spoilers, and Griffin's onside. She's got 2 players towards her right. One's McLaughlin, one's Baker. Here's Baker. And a little bit more delayed. Illinois State controlling this match here in the first 10 minutes. McLaughlin went down in the box. No foul. Can Missouri State clear it? Here is a foul. And that's against Illinois State by Bisher. By the way, we'll wrap up the Missouri State lineup. It went by so fast. We just wanted to give you the taste again. There you go. English, Arui, Anderson, O'Keefe, Crouch, and the rest.
Gracie English and Grace O'Keefe have been such a lethal combination in offense for that match so far.
So Nathan, you alluded to this. Let's go. What is the variables that play in today? Illinois State is out of it, but Missouri State could wrap up the regular season title in the first seed. How?
Yeah, so Missouri State's in the driver's seat. They win, no problem. Anything else, and it's going to depend on what happens in the Valpo game, which is currently scoreless as they take on Indiana State. But if Missouri State ties and Valpo ties or loses, Missouri State is the regular season champions by themselves in the 1 seed. Missouri State can lose and still get the 1 seed as long as Valpo ties or loses. And nice little breakaway here for Illinois State.
It's Baker. Oh, she scores! It's an onslaught at the beginning for Illinois State. And man, if anyone's watching the score over in the Valpo game, their hearts are aflutter. Illinois State 2, Missouri State nothing.
We talked about Allison Baker at the beginning, and she's been a consistent contributor for this Illinois State team, and they got him on the counterattack there. She's 1-on-2. She gets it onto her right foot, goes high, and there was no chance on that one for Day, and Baker makes it 2-0. And we were just saying, if Missouri State loses, the only way Valpo can be the regular season champions all by themselves and the 1 seed is if Missouri State loses and Valpo wins, because Missouri State has the tiebreaker. They beat Valpo 1-0 back on October 2nd. And the reason it's so critical when you look at it, Jonathan, is that the top 2 seeds get double buys into the semifinals. Now, Missouri State knows they're going to be a top 2, but then you're going to host that championship game. And you want to have that in Springfield, Missouri, and not go all the way over to Indiana or wherever the 3 seed might be and play that contest. And right now, as you look at the way that it breaks down, that 3 seed is likely SIU. As Missouri State gets quickly on the counter, SIU and UIC are playing today. And that right now, that's the 3 and the 4. They're looking to lock up buys as well. Illinois State is out. Evansville's out. We know that. That's why we said Illinois State, this is their championship game. They're sure playing like it's their championship game through the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, if you're looking at how to wrap up this season, if you want to do it in the most glorious way possible from Illinois State's perspective, well, they're well on their way. This ball trying to scoot along the sideline.
No score, Valpo and Indiana State. Indiana State also in that game, they've got to win. They're sitting on 8 points right now. A win gets them to 11, which could force a tie if the other results break out, because right now 11 is that 8th spot. So they've got to win. Indiana State has to win, so Valpo's got their hands full there as well.
Griffin. McLaughlin. Surely it couldn't be 3 here in the opening minutes. Senek. Baker with some room to work. And it rolls away. Look at the history between these 2 teams.
Yeah, and it's been all Illinois State. You look at overall 22-8-9, but they've won 6 in a row. They went to Springfield, Missouri last year and won in overtime 1-0. This has been a tough place for Missouri State to come, and we've seen that in the first 10 minutes. It's been a tough go for them here, even as good as they've been this year and as struggling as Illinois State has been. Illinois State's looking to avoid their first winless conference season in school history.
Rayberger sent that one in. It's volleyed around by some Bears. And yet again, it's just the first 15 minutes of this match. It has been all Illinois State. They've controlled. There was a couple of moments early.
Very early, yeah. They had that corner kick when they put the ball right in front of the goal and had another shot that was deflected that went out for that corner kick. But that's it. Those 2 balls into the box off of the back-to-back corners for Missouri State. And since then, Illinois State has done what we said at the beginning they needed to do. They needed to play aggressive. They needed to play like they had nothing to lose, and that's what they've done here for the first 15 minutes. This
ball tracked all the way into the corner, trying to get a goal kick out of this, or a throw in, and it was Illinois State ball. I think what's interesting, Nathan, and this is regardless how this game turns out, you look at the preseason rankings in the Missouri Valley Conference. Valpo was number 1, and they're number 2 right now. This drive high of Brown. But Valpo was ranked number 1. Okay, so they got that one.
Yep.
Then Missouri State was number 8.
Yeah.
They're 1. Southern Illinois was number 11. They're 3. UIC number 10. They're 4. Here's a chance here. And then you had Indiana State was ranked 2 in the preseason. They're number 9. Missouri State is in 8th place. They were 3. It's all upside down.
And that's been a lot of the challenges if you've seen in some of the preseason polls and in some of the sports outside of football and basketball, because in a lot of these sports, the coaches don't necessarily know who's back for all of these teams. You don't know who's back. You don't know who's taking a 5th year with the COVID year. In some cases, teams get transfers in now with the transfer portal. So you don't know, some of those players come in from different conferences, from smaller schools. You don't know what kind of impact they're going to have on teams that transfer out. What kind of impact will a team have? In Missouri State's case, it's a brand new coach after 20 plus years of having a legendary coach, and now they've got a brand new coach in from Nevada putting his own stamp on this program. So you didn't know how that was going to go if you're a coach voting on Missouri State, and it's gone really well.
Baker in a tussle here on the far side of the field, near side of the field, and it's a foul called, I think against Miss Anderson. Jenna Anderson, one of the sophomores from Overland Park, Kansas. Plenty of players from Overland Park, Kansas. I'll tell you what, Thomas Aquinas High School, the Saints, they have been very good to Missouri State over the years. And here's going to be effectively a short corner kick for Illinois State.
Yeah, Braden Fry, our referee, marked that off exactly where he wanted the two-player wall, and now letting them know not to move as he kind of went right up and gave them some instructions.
It'll be Rayberger. Here in the 14th minute, a bend to it, but it was high of everyone. No one able to rush in and connect with that ball.
That's where you need a 6-footer at that back post, right? Get as high as you possibly can.
McLaughlin leaves it back. This little scud missile didn't have much to do with anything. And we've played a quarter hour here at Ed Strait Field, and an upset very much a brewing. Senek. Bisher. Everyone pressed up for the Redbirds, looking for a 3rd goal. Olayed to McLaughlin. She wasn't able to control it. And man, the tenacity, Nathan, and maybe it's the dogs in the house, having all the puppies around. Is it just the last energy? Final game, got to go.
Get them a little motivated in there. You see the dogs. It cheers everybody up, right? You see some puppies running around, and go out there and have some fun. And that's what Illinois State has done so far in this contest. And this is a Missouri State team we mentioned earlier. Their last 6 wins had been by shutout.
Yeah, their shutout totals are outstanding. They were looking for and they're not going to get it. They were looking for their 11th shutout of the season, which would have been the most in school history, tied with their 2000 team. 23rd best team in the country in shutout percentage.
You look at goals allowed, they gave up 2 to Murray State on October 6th, 2-1. That's their only conference loss. Before that, they had not allowed more than 1 goal since September 1st, and that was against the nationally ranked St. Louis University team. They lost 7-0 in that contest. They lost 3-2 to Tulsa, who's also a ranked team, and they lost 4-0 to Oklahoma State. So you look at the teams that they gave up multiple goals to. Oklahoma State, 2 ranked teams in Tulsa and SLU, and then Murray State, which is kind of the surprising one along with this one, because Murray State right now is in 8th place, and Illinois State is in 10th. So those are the teams that have scored against Missouri State this year.
Restarting this, Sydney Smith. That foul drawn by McLaughlin. Here's Smith. Chips it towards goal, a little bit beyond the reach of Baker, and it'll be a goal kick for Cam Day, who has typically been stout, wonderful all season, under a goal allowed per match. Only 12 goals allowed this season entering today, but 2 goals quick as we're in the 18th.
Yeah, and both well-placed shots that were high and out of her reach in this contest. So haven't really had any one-on-one or goal-saving opportunities so far. And they've only put one shot so far, and it was not a shot on goal. It was that one that we saw earlier, and then the replay of that went about, say, 5 feet over the goal and back towards those bleachers. The only shot that the Bears have had so far. They've had a couple of corners, actually 3 corners, but have not had a really good goal-scoring opportunity in the first near 20 minutes of this match.
Benedict feeds it up the side, and those shots were against the wind, too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the big part of this for Illinois State too. Is
close
close
on that tackle.
And now they're on the counterattack again.
McLaughlin with the head of steam and a lot of grass to navigate through. Leaves it up for Griffin. Hillary has an assist today. McLaughlin, Kelsey chips it high and long.
It's a good play, though. That's a really good. She had options coming through the middle, went out wide to Griffin. Griffin was able to bring it back and find an open teammate, get it to McLaughlin in the middle. She did a very nice first touch to get around the defender and then just hit that volley a little bit high. But that's a very good move. Overall, great play, good ball movement by the Redbirds.
Bullet from Schlapper. Schlapper. Nobody on the far end. Smith with full control, trying to scoot it around Rutherford.
On the other side of things, for goals for Missouri State, they've not been shut out in their last 10. The last time they were shut out was the loss to Arkansas State on September 8th.
And they might be looking for a goal here. One-on-one chance, a hard touch. And it's able to be deflected away. It was right there, and now it's an Illinois State counterattack. That defense for the Redbirds, Nathan, incredible.
Well, you nailed it there, the hard touch. That first touch let her down. If she's able to put that ball right onto her foot, she's got that one-on-one goal-scoring opportunity, but too strong of a first touch.
Crouch leaves it up ahead. Not able to find much room to work it. We played back, and now Missouri State, at long last, able to control the ball. They've been chasing Illinois State this whole time. We slide into the 21st. Now in front, wind at her back. This will be a heater, and it just trickles wide.
Brown had that post covered. I think we get our first subs of the game as well. On this goal kick coming up for Illinois State. Shot wide. Still no score in Indiana. Indiana State and Valparaiso. They are a couple minutes ahead of us action-wise. So they're already into the 23rd minute, but no score in that contest.
It's Brown. Plucked away by English. Oh, she was trying to feed it out to Gabby Schlapper. Instead, it's Kelsey McLaughlin.
If you're Illinois State, that's who you want on the ball. She's been very good all season. Freshman is just going to continue to get better. They've got the good young talent. Her and Griffin, both freshmen. We've already seen them impact this contest.
Here's McLaughlin. So if you're going to look at snapping a scoring streak, about time to do it, Nathan.
Yeah, it would have been the longest scoring drought as you see there in program history. So able to get those goals going and get in to this contest and get goals into the net, especially here at home. As they had not been able to do that. You look at the games at home: 3-0 loss to Northern Iowa, 1-0 to Indiana State, 1-0 to Belmont, 0-0 to Valpo. So very important to get that goal. And then you saw, boom, another one right after.
And when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours.
That's right.
Those goal scorers: Haley Glover in the 6th and Allison Baker in the 10th. We're in the 23rd now. Plenty of time to go, plenty of time for Missouri State, but they're going to have to change up how the ball possession here. Illinois State's been able to do whatever they want. And we've seen this with Illinois State at times this year where they've had bursts like this of not the goal scoring but the ball control, where they're making runs at goal, they're getting shots, but they hadn't been able to get the result, to capitalize on it as Crotty waits to throw in. And now Illinois State's got the results, they've got the 2 goals, they've got the wind literally in their sails. And they almost got another one there as Day comes way offline. Missouri State, can they set up a counterattack to get one of these back at least before halftime? Good cross there from Ronan. Battle in the middle. Anderson. And a throw in for Missouri State. That's Ronig. The dangerous Chambliss. And Brown boots it away, and you see the wind, how much it affects that ball. Put it on a hard stop and pushed it to the left. That was a crafty move by Baker. I love it when players you see it in basketball too, when they just like pass it off of somebody so it goes out of bounds.
Yeah.
Just that. You never feel great when you're the recipient. Like, yeah, you got me.
Yeah, kicked it right off her, grab that throw in, and now Illinois State looking to control out of the back. They had some trouble doing this earlier in the season.
They were sloppy.
Giving up the ball and then having it lead to goals, but they're able to get it out on this occasion.
Throw in for Illinois State. See, we told you it was puppy day there, and there's some evidence wanting to get in the game.
Oh, he's ready to go.
He's just cheering on the Redbirds.
Not sure a fan of the camera person there, but ready to go, invading the puppy space. I'm telling you, they were all over earlier. There were a couple puppies in the bleachers. There was a few down on the sidewalk as we were shooting the stand-up. There were a bunch out in the parking lot tailgating and running around having some fun.
I don't think the puppies drove, but they were present.
They were definitely around, ready to have some fun today, and at least the ones that came with Redbirds fans are enjoying this first half so far.
McLaughlin. A little bit pushed away from Baker. Baker sticks with it, though. She's already got 1 goal, and she almost had another. The tricky angle.
They're being aggressive, that's for sure, and they're taking their chances, and it's something you like to see from Illinois State, and they're on the front foot, and they're taking it to Missouri State. They're not back and waiting, and just off to the left of the post and landed in the back of the net just to confuse us for a split second where that ball was going.
Man, sometimes there's a few angles. It'll get you. It can get you. Nathan and I were on top of it. That's right.
No goal call there.
Not. Hopefully for Missouri State, they'll get one shortly. They need it. We're in minute 27 as the Bears are not getting desperate yet. You don't need to be desperate yet, but you need to be able to show some life. Your Missouri State, for as good as they've been, they haven't really been a team that would string together multiple goals.
Well, they're also in uncharted territory because they haven't had to come from behind a lot. They're a team that's played out front. We talked about how many shutouts they've had, so they've played a lot of time this year in games that were 0-0, 1-0. It's a completely different game than being down 2-0. We'll see if Illinois State changes their tactic at some point in this game and starts to play a little bit more defensive and puts even more players back in the box and not give up the goals. But really, you look at outside of the game they lost to Missouri State on October the 6th, and in that game, they were down 2-0 in the first half. They gave up 2 goals inside the first 20 minutes. They came back and scored in the 82nd minute to make it 2-1. But that's really the only time that they've played from behind since early September when they lost that game to SLU 7-0.
O'Keefe will regather this one. Grace O'Keefe, 4 goals this season, 3 assists. She's looking for her 4th assist, but Bisher fends it off. But yeah, to your point, how many times has Missouri State scored twice in October? Once.
Yeah.
Once.
Belmont 2-0. Beat SIU 2-0 at the end of September. And when they tied Drake, which is their only tie-in conference.
Foul here is Bear got tripped up, so this will be a free kick. Great opportunity for Missouri State if they want to be able to work their way back in this one. O'Keefe will take it.
When they tied Drake, they scored first, and then Drake scored in the second half to make that 1-1. So, yeah, you're going all the way back to the game against SLU since they've trailed by more than 1.
That's all the way. 1st of September. The Billikens were incredible that day.
Foul was on Seneca here. Sets up Missouri State.
O'Keefe. Kept that one low, beating the wind, under the wind. And this possession peters out from Missouri State. They threatened for a moment, but not able to capitalize, Nathan.
I think that'll go as their first shot on goal, as Brown had to go down and catch it to make the save there. They did get a couple opportunities off of that. The first one was blocked from outside the box. Kind of a tough angle to go at goal for O'Keefe. As you mentioned, played it low and didn't let the wind be a factor.
I'm curious, when you're going that direction, why wouldn't you just get some lift under and let it just carry?
Yeah, just flip it
Give it a chance.
And make the goalie go up and cover that entire area. It's a good point, and we haven't seen Missouri State really try that attack angle so far yet today.
There was one O'Keefe corner kick earlier where, I mean, his first couple minutes of the match where it looked like it was tailing. It had a little tail towards it. That's just, why not try that again? I mean, from straight away. But she went on the ground now, and Illinois State controlling the possession as they've done. They've dominated this entire first half, which is worst case scenario for Missouri State. Now they can still survive it, as Nathan described a ways back. If you're just tuning in, this could be a free kick for Illinois State.
Good job drawing that foul down the left side.
Man, if the Redbirds got a 3rd goal this half, that would be trouble.
Yeah, that would really make it hard for the Bears to come from behind. That was Baker drawing that foul down the left side as we go past the 30-minute mark in this first half.
Rayberger with a potentially knockout opportunity here in the first half. It wouldn't make things impossible. It'd make things exceedingly difficult. Rayberger gives it a little bend. It's in front, and Missouri State avoids that threat for the moment. But don't get too calm. The Redbirds still have it. And with Brown pressed up, everyone is going to be on that far half of the field, basically. Senek. McLaughlin, nice give and go. Oh, she's still with it. Not able to just keep that switch back.
It's a great effort, though, fighting through to try to get that ball going 1-on-2 with it.
Working from midfield.
And that's the problem Missouri State has right now. They get into a spot like that, and they're 1-on-4.
Bennett just kind of sends it in, but nobody to really do anything with it. But you see there, the ball still got up in the air, took a little bend.
But they get in the middle of the goal right there in a spot where normally you're 1-on-1 or 1-on-2, and Illinois State can afford to have extra players back right now. So Missouri State got that ball in a usual goal-scoring opportunity, or at least set up a teammate for a goal-scoring opportunity, and you're 1-on-4. Illinois State's able to deflect the ball, control it, and now get it into the other half.
Bisher. Oh, nice pass. Baker. Maybe a little too selfless.
Yeah, that's one where she could have probably taken a couple dribbles down that left side and see what she could get and get either the defense coming to her or pull a teammate open.
Griffin got it into the box and colliding with everyone. Still has it. Hillary Griffin has been a point accumulating machine this season. 2 goals, now 6 assists. We were a little inside baseball, but we were joking earlier where there's a stat in the game notes for Illinois State where she's 5 assists, which was the most by a freshman in the Missouri Valley, but the stat's been the same forever.
Yeah,
See a foul call.
Until today, she finally got it bumped up to 6. Yeah, that's something that hadn't changed for a handful of games, because we talked about the scoring drought for Illinois State. Yeah, the last time we worked together, that was that top stat there as well.
Same one.
And that was a few weeks back, but now she finally got that 6th assist, and still leads all freshmen in the Missouri Valley in helpers, which is a nice stat to be at the top of.
Schlapper plays it back to Anderson. Over to her counterpart, Kylie Jackson. The goal scoring, 6th minute from Glover by virtue of Griffin and that lofty 6th assist. And then Baker in the 10th. Can Missouri State strike here? It's in the air and sails a little bit. Good effort there. One of the better offensive sets Missouri State's had here in the 35th minute. But I think your Missouri State, this new territory basically formed. You see Abby Hansen subbing in, one of the freshmen from Overland Park, Kansas, that hotbed for the Bears. But if you missed the Missouri Valley tournament last year, the year before, so now you're firmly in this wonderful season. All your plans are going perfect. The Kirk Nelson, and he said he wanted to use the first part, the non-conference, as not only a testing ground for the team by playing tough opponents. We've mentioned SLU a lot, but also they played a ton of players during that stretch, a lot of times 20, 25 players. It's going great. You want to be ready for conference play. It's going, you're dominating conference play, and now you're down 2-0 last game. And it's up to what you can do over the final 50 minutes and what Valparaiso does.
Yeah. And not to pile on to Missouri State, but Valpo just scored at the 35-15 mark. So Valpo's got that lead at home now against Indiana State, 1-0. They are a couple minutes ahead of us. They're in the 37th minute with that first goal scored, and we're in 35 here. So we'll see how the rest of that plays out. But Missouri State either needs to get a couple of goals here and come back and force a tie, or they need Indiana State to help out. But right now, Valpo is the team that controls their own destiny, as you see Coach Nelson. You talked about Coach Nelson earlier, and you talked to him earlier this week, but a successful career at Nevada, helping them to a couple of titles out in the Mountain West, and now bringing that success to Missouri State.
Yeah, Kirk Nelson has been, he was an interesting fella. He was a teacher, honors geometry teacher in the Chandler, Arizona area. And he called it a re-careered to be an assistant to go into college soccer. He's a scout for USA Soccer. And he was in UNLV for a while, then came over to Missouri State as an assistant for a couple of years, and now took it over. And Missouri State needing to rally here late in the first half, down 2. Smith. Almost a chance there for a Hansen. Bisher.
Yeah, seasons as the associate head coach. Rob Brewer, been 26 years as a head coach at Missouri State, and he founded the program. So Coach Nelson, just the second head coach in program history. You mentioned all that success in high school, won a couple of state titles out there in Arizona. Chandler, a very good school, and produced quite a few athletes in basketball, football, soccer, and baseball.
There's a big lob and off the top of the net. So Dave will get this restarted, and Dave's day has been frustrating.
You love the goalie that wears 99, though.
Yeah, and the like.
Usually you get the
19.
0. You usually get the 0 or the 00 or the 1, but the 99 got the old school font.
Yeah, the guy like the 1994 jersey she's rocking. It's Bisher, and no, the goalie's best friend.
Jumped up, popped it off the top of the net, and caught it too. Good work by Day. Yeah, you know I'm a the '80s kid. When I give you the 99, that means she's Ricky Vaughn from Major League. Coming out wearing the 99.
99 was a big number in the '80s. Gretzky.
Yeah, Gretzky, absolutely.
Jackson does not wear 99. She wears 4. Ronig. Coming towards the conclusion of this first half. Only 5 minutes away. Missouri State. Maybe. Oh, fended off, but still within striking distance. Hansen. Oh, and Brown just sees it roll away. So coming up at halftime, we have an international student story here from Illinois State. We'll look at the Missouri Valley standings, and we'll give you stats, highlights, updates, everything you could possibly want.
Get an update from that Valpo game, too. They'll be at halftime before us. And we'll have that set ready for the Missouri State fans who are trying to keep an eye on their whole playoff possibilities.
This would help, but it's a deflection. And also, just as you noted earlier, and just to reiterate that, Indiana State, that's not a game that's meaningless to them. They need it too.
They've got to win.
So they're going to be playing hard the rest of the way, as this is a great opportunity for the Bears.
And Missouri State knows that they are in the top 2, no matter what, which does get you that double bye, which means they won't play until November 3rd. But that top seed not only means regular season championship, which Missouri State has never won in women's soccer, but it also means holding on to that possibility of hosting the championship game should you make it that far.
An opportunity missed as that ball rolled all the way up the hill before trickling back down. Here's that last corner kick. So we play into the 42nd minute here. If you're Marissa Kresge and you're trying to think about how this first half could go, it could not have gone any better.
Yeah, I got that early goal and then capitalized right off of it. And just, a couple minutes later, actually, let's see, 3:37 between goals between Glover and Baker to make it 2-0, and that makes a big difference. Missouri State has had a couple of opportunities. They put their shots off goal, though. So officially no saves yet for Brown. And the balls that she's controlled have either been on crosses or on corner kicks. But no shots on goal yet for Missouri State, which is kind of surprising to see, especially the way the wind has been blowing, which you would have thought would have played to their advantage here in the first half.
If you have true, exactly. You think the team that's proven over the course of the season they can possess the ball and control the tempo, would have the advantage with the win, and there's a bullet from Chambliss right into the gloves of Audrey Brown.
Yeah, good hard shot there. Didn't make the goalkeeper move, though. Didn't challenge her to either side or up high, but here's a bad giveaway by Illinois State.
The Bears getting their chances here late going. So far, this has been rescued by the Redbirds.
Yeah, more bodies back there for Illinois State after the first mistake.
Taken right away. Oh, and then just not connecting on those passes. One player looking left, the pass went right, and Illinois State maintains possession here late in the first. We got it. We're inside 2 minutes left here, first half. Smith will track this one now. She's going to let it roll all the way. It'll be a goal kick.
Less than 2 minutes to go on the first half clock here.
There's Brown with the ball. Taking her time. The opportunity to kill some clock. See one of the pooches in the background. We're not lying about this, pups, in the park day. The wind blows it down before it can get to midfield. That is perfect for Missouri State. Is there a last-minute goal here in the first half to give them more hope? Maybe. Oh, I think she was offside, too.
A couple times today, though, their first touch has let them down. They've gotten the ball into the box, and yeah, they're gonna. She rolled it out here, but you're right, the flag was up, so referee calls it back and has them set it down, and they get about an extra 15 yards out of it from where they'll start this free kick from in the last minute of the half.
Illinois State in no rush. Just 30 to go. Seconds. Maybe. Brown has been resolute.
Brown falls down on top of the ball, too, to buy a few more seconds, so that's going to take Illinois State to the half in the last 10 seconds. What a half for the Redbirds in their last home game of the year.
3, 2, 1.
Glover in the 6th, Baker in the 10th. Illinois State upset leading at halftime. There's your stats. We'll have them more later coming up. Our halftime report, don't go anywhere. You just stay tuned for more highlights.
Finish their job, and I'm sure somebody told the coaches over there on the Missouri State side, hey, Valpo's winning. You guys have got to tie. You got to find 2 goals here and hold Illinois State from scoring again.
Somehow that information seems to always find its way as the second half has now begun. Redbirds pick up right where they left off, and now what a win this would be for Marissa Kresge after everything this year. This would have to feel just like a massive gorilla off the back.
Absolutely. You can see the flag there above the scoreboard in the top left. You can see how it's blowing the direction that Illinois State is going. So what wind there is, and it's been gusting up to 15-20, is that Illinois State's back, and they're pushing forward right here to start the half.
Scoring chance again. That time it was cut down by Cam Day.
Man, that would have been a backbreaker right there if you're Missouri State to give up a goal in the first minute of the second half when you're already down 2-0.
As we said through the scoreboard explanation, if Indiana State rallied and tied, then Missouri State wins the conference.
Well, bad news on that front, because Valpo scored a minute into the second half, so it's already 2-0 Valpo. 1 minute and 3 seconds into the second half, they found their second goal. So 2-0 there now for Valpo, which means Missouri State pretty much has to come back and tie this, and then that would be to share the regular season and be the 1 seed, or they score 3 goals in the second half and they win. But they can't count on help from Indiana State at this point.
I'll tell you, those lighthouses up there in Valparaiso, the beacons, they're on the high beams at the moment. And the Bears need to make a lot happen in a short amount of time. And you see they're playing through that contact, trying to scoop the ball over to Ronig. But they're going to have to, the offensive players then have to turn into defensive players. You can't let Illinois State possess the ball like they did in the first half if you want to get that first seed, and you don't want to have the road go through Northwest Indiana.
And that'll be the other challenging part now too, is to see how many numbers they start to throw forward, and if they leave themselves prone to another counterattack, which is where Illinois State has been able to get to them so far in this match.
Dangerous player, most dangerous Chambliss, and this one she popped up. And this is also tricky, Nathan, is Missouri State had the benefit of the wind in the first half. Now those pop shots we were talking about earlier, you're going to be hitting that big 30-mile-an-hour gust that's making Old Glory just hang on for dear life in the background.
You'll see how the replay affected this one, and yeah, ball got up into the wind, and nothing's going to come out of that. It's not gonna help when you're going into the wind like that to put it up into the air. But for Illinois State going the other way, they might be able to get some shots from distance that have some wind help.
And why not get greedy? If you're Illinois State, you've been scoring less than a goal per match this season. You entered today at 0.88, so might as well just keep launching away. What care do you have?
Yeah, and you know, they've played that way throughout the match so far. They've played aggressive, they played loose. And
chance here. Is it going to roll in? No, it just rolls to the left. Joey Fosno not able to get it in. She was bodied up. She wanted a foul, and here's another peek at it.
Yeah, Brown came way off of her line there and didn't get to the ball. And you can see the tussle there. At the top of the box with Rayberger and Fosnow, and Brown was kind of in no man's land there. She didn't stay on her line and didn't get to the ball, and that's a dangerous spot for a keeper to be.
And you can see the frustration there from Missouri State. They know the urgency. They might not know on the field that Valparaiso scored again, but they do know that Valparaiso's winning. And Missouri State, they got a big mountain to climb. And you can see they know it. Benedict leaves this one for a teammate. Settled in. Chipped ahead by Fosno. Chambliss. The big cross. And Brown erases it.
Again, that first touch has just been too heavy at times for Missouri State. Not able to settle those big crosses. She is able to put that on her foot and get a shot right away. It's a great opportunity, but instead the cross hits too heavy on that first touch and goes right to Brown. That's the second or third time we've seen that happen for the Bears today.
Inside 40 minutes left in this match. And each time a second clicks off that clock, feels like a little paper cut to Missouri State. It'll be a quick throw in here from the Bears. No time to waste.
Foul there against Missouri State will help ISU to get the ball up the field.
I want to give a shout out to our whole crew here. We're running this for Redbird Productions for the Valley on ESPN, but producer Peter Babb does a great job. Technical directors Camden Green and Cash Cady. Sam Thiem doing the replays. Jason Moore on the audio. Graphics from T. Torres. And the cameras hanging on against the wind. James Schertz, Callie McMillan, and Logan Jacoby. Logan did our stand-up earlier and did a very nice job. Thank you to everybody who's made this possible and done the soccer work, yeoman's work this whole season. A lot of those people have been on multiple games.
10 home games throughout the year, and yeah, great job by the crew making us look good, which is difficult to do the way we look.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Got to have a good production crew. Fosno Into the box. They need one. They can't get it yet. I'm looking for anything.
That took a deflection, though, so that's going to win them a corner.
Was that off the hand? No, yeah. So it wasn't off the hand. It was just off one of the Redbirds. And so every one of these opportunities, even more critical than before, Grace O'Keefe.
And really their best goal-scoring opportunity in the first half came on a corner, and it was wind-aided at that other end of the field, but it just went past the post. Almost went straight in off of the corner. Not going to have the wind to help her necessarily this time, but still has a set-piece opportunity.
Got a little cheerleaders there in the foreground, though. O'Keefe bends towards the goal. It's in front. Can they turn it around? No, there's a trip up, and I think the Bear just fell. The Missouri State player had an opportunity and fell in a breakout for the Redbirds. The whole length of the pitch and then just out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Illinois State. But, oh, that ball was just laying there for what felt like minutes. Wait for this game to restart. Cross in, headed high. Is that a goal? The third!
Wow, what a play. Off the left side, perfect pass in, right onto the head. And put that right into the back of the net. 3-0 for Illinois State now. And what a great play this is. Pass right to the middle and beat her marker to the ball. Got the glancing header and smashed it right into the back of the net.
This Nathan, 3-0 Illinois State. Back-breaking goal might be generous.
Yeah, what a play that was by Illinois State. Found the exact space they needed to find. And Emily Ehlert gets the goal. Hillary Griffin gets another assist. That's her second today. We talked about her having the most of any freshman in conference play, and she's been stuck on 5. Now she's got 2 today, and she's up to 7.
She's crushed the 5. Man, she was stuck on 5 for eons.
3-0. Missouri State got a yellow card after that goal as well for unsporting behavior. Doesn't have a number on it on the stat play-by-play sheet, but probably arguing for a foul on that goal. Knocked in by Ehlert, who got the header, beat her opponent to it. And, man, they're going to love that goal when they see it over in Valpo.
Emily Ehlert, a junior from Wisconsin, her 6th game. She hasn't played in most of them this year. She's been playing lately. No goals, the first of her career right then. And Missouri State's mountain is now Everest.
Yeah, 3-0 now with 35 minutes to go.
Down that sideline, and every time Illinois State gets it along into the defensive third for Missouri State, it's just another 5 minutes killed off the clock, basically.
Yeah, just great counterattack throughout the day. They've done a great job with it. It's not actually their throw-in this time. It's Missouri State's throw-in, but they've done a great job on the counterattack. When they've been there, they've taken advantage of those opportunities, and when they get the cross in, they've got bodies in the box to take advantage of.
What do the Bears have in store?
Yeah, they got to get going now forward. They got to do it quickly.
We're in the 55th of 90. And Illinois State with their most goals of the season. Yeah, since Lindenwood.
The dangerous thing too is they get to play with confidence now, and that's something that they haven't done in a long time, is to play with confidence, play with the lead, and now they're out there doing exactly that.
If you think, like, for Missouri State, the the worst luck in the world, where Illinois State, they've had games throughout this season, throughout this long stretch of losing, since their last win on September the 11th, where they had goal-scoring opportunities that were just off by inches.
Yeah, and today they've all been there.
And they've been perfect. It's finally clicked for Illinois State, and it comes in the last game, and at the worst time for Missouri State. You can't, but if you want to get 3, you got to get 1 first, and there's a drive, and it's easily handled by Brown. That was their best goal scorer, Haley Chambliss, the second best goal scorer in the Valley. She has 5 on the year, and boy, does she need number 6.
And here's the spot now. We talked about, we get a whistle here against Missouri State, but you get a spot where Illinois State can throw defenders back and make it even that harder for Missouri State to be able to put through. That's a nice pullback, get it onto the left foot, but Brown had that post covered perfectly.
And now here's where Illinois State can play a little bit of that keep away, which they're not always that great at. Those long passes along the back line have burned the Redbirds in the past, and that's something that Missouri State will need to capitalize on. Can they here? Nice run, a little bit in front though, and a throw-in coming up.
Valpo's also made it 3-0 in their game, so they continue to go after Indiana State.
And Valpo taking things from bad to worse. And look at the ball just gets up in the air with the wind, and it blusters it all the way back to Day. And also with these windy conditions, what you typically teams do when they're needing to make a big run, you have these big, long, lofty passes, and those are just completely negated. This would do wonders. Benedict in front. Oh, and not able to connect. It was there.
Getting more opportunities now is Missouri State.
Watch the back end of this play. Just in front of O'Keefe. It's a good thought. You feel like, though, Nathan, that it almost the dam could just threaten to just crack and shatter if Missouri State gets that one.
Well, that's the key, and they got to do it with enough time left to make an impact. And you wonder where that is in the clock.
You can see in the background there, just under 31 and a half minutes left. Is that enough time to get 3? Let's chip towards goal. There's one.
Well, game on right there. Game on as she got that one to go from distance outside the box and put it in, and that's the first time they've had a shot from distance that had a good chance in this one. And now it's 3-1, and we see a little pop up and shoot from distance, and yeah, Brown was beat on that one, and Chambliss, who you've talked about many times as being their top threat, gets the goal, and Missouri State's right back in this one now.
Yeah, that's our main girl there in the 59th minute. Haley Chambliss.
Yeah, left-footed, top right of the goal, went right over the top, and now let's see if this game flips. Does Missouri State start to play with some confidence now and get things going? Does Illinois State revert back to what they've done throughout most of the season, where they've given up a lot of goals? They played so well through the first 58 minutes today.
So just to iterate, this is if what I'm about to say, if you don't like it, this is just how soccer works. A draw is a win in this book for Missouri
Correct.
State.
Yep.
So if they don't need to win,
there's no overtime.
There's
in the
no
regular
overtime.
Season. So there's 31 minutes and change to go, and they need to draw, and they will be co-regular season champions with Valpo, and because they beat Valpo 1-0 on October 2nd, they would be the number 1 seed.
So there's the scenario for Missouri State. If you're a Bears fan, a draw is a win.
Correct.
which is also what some Chicago Bears fans might feel on occasion. But for the Missouri State Bears fans, draw is a win. You need 2 more at a minimum. And here's Chambliss. Ronig will have the throw in. So whatever Valparaiso does, they could win 35-0, and
Right.
as long as Missouri State ties, they're set.
The goals don't matter. Since there was one match head-to-head, that's the tiebreaker, and it ended in a win for Missouri State. So goals scored, goal differential doesn't matter at this point for either side. It's just coming down to the results, and that's what Missouri State has to get here. They have to get a result, be it a win or a draw.
What complicates this is that Missouri State is not a high-scoring team at all. They average just over 1 goal per match. They got to do something out of the ordinary, and here's a chance in front. Settled down by Chambliss and fended off, and we'll see. It's a free kick for Illinois State.
You see the scramble there, and that's what Illinois State's going to have to do. They're going to have to play scrappy defense. They're going to have to scramble everything they've got now for the next 30-plus minutes to get through this if they're going to pull out the victory and the upset victory.
And right now we are in the 61st.
And they were throwing bodies at that back line. That's exactly what they were doing right there.
Here's another chance in front. Is she onside? No, the flag is up. So you can forget about the tackle at the end. She was offsides anyway. And that clock, that'll let Illinois State kill some more time. So if you're looking, Nathan, spreading the wealth around not only this season but today.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had different players score goals this year. We just had another one add to that in Ehlert, so that'll be 8 different players who have scored. And Griffin now with 7 assists, so she's in there in the top 5, not only in the Missouri Valley Conference but in all Division I. And she's a freshman, so what a great year she's having. She's going to get some Newcomer of the Year votes in the conference, no doubt.
Oh, she should definitely be a contender for that. There's a couple of Redbirds. McLaughlin should be considered, get some consideration. I think Griffin would be the leader in the clubhouse or in the locker room.
Yeah, and getting 2 assists against a team like Missouri State is big, too, at the end of the year when they go in to do those votes, and then they're looking at the stats, and that's going to go a long way for her.
O'Keefe, another great scoring chance. This is not really the best angle for her, but there's a lot she can do with it. Cuts through the wind, and it didn't have a chance to bend back. I think going this way, being on that right side, offense is right. So near side of the field is bottom corner. That's where she'd be most effective with just having to deal with that wind.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't play a short corner from that side, given the way that the wind's going, and you can kind of get more control of it over there, especially from that angle and the way the wind's blowing into that corner. See if they get another one on that side if they change up their tactics, but they do steal the ball right back and can build from the back here.
And Missouri State, definitely this half, they have been way more aggressive at the midfield, and since that last goal by Ehlert, even more so. Here's a long run, and the ball hang up and let Ronig get under it. Benedict has 2 goals on the season, 5 for her career. That one's checked out by Abby Crouch, the junior who's started every game since 2021, and another goal kick for Illinois State. As you can see in the background, that is the sand in the hourglass. Under 26 and a half minutes to go. Leah Crotty. And you think for Illinois State, how hard this team has worked this season to get so few results of anything to write home about, and this would be a huge win for them. Just morale, a boost, building towards next season. A nice grace note for the seniors and the grad students who've hung it out for the last 4 years and more. So it's not like Illinois State's got nothing to play for. They're playing for their team pride and their program. And you can see the desperation by Missouri State. One-on-one chance. Defender in between. Tricky spot. The Redbirds covered it up well. And a long run for the Bears if they can get there. Griffin is going to make this very tricky. Throw in for Missouri State with 25 minutes left. They need 2. Like a wave, the Missouri State just trying to build up momentum here before they begin their next attack. Here's Carly Ronig, a junior. English. Ronig. Every time the ball gets popped up, the players are losing it because the wind is changing off what they're just used to. You got that like sixth sense, you know, you can judge some things, objects around you, but when you're not used to it, when the wind's blowing the ball around, as we're inside 24 minutes to go, and Audrey Brown begins the stall tactics. Which is legal in soccer and just kind of how it goes sometimes. Brown. The Redbirds looking very calm and poised. And she was way offsides.
Yeah, that wasn't even close to being onside there for Illinois State at all. And we see the 3-1 scoreline here. Still 3-0 Valpo leading against Indiana State. That game is a little bit ahead of us as you look at the clock. They should end really close to the same time. And actually, Valpo just scored again, so it's now 4-0 Valpo leading that contest. UIC leads SIU 1-0. That's in the 63rd minute. The Valpo game is in the 69th minute, and we're in the just started the 68th.
So one of the top two, one of the top 2 seeds is set. Valparaiso is either conference. They've either won it or they're going to finish second.
Well, same with Missouri State. Yeah, so those top 2 are going to be completely set, and then SIU and UIC in there as they play right now. UIC winning 1-0. And they would be tied.
Breakout here for Illinois State. This would be a backbreaker if good. Check back. Open net. Illinois State 4.
Nobody tracked back in the middle of the field at all for Missouri State. And what a great job that was by Allison Baker. We talked about in the open. She drew the defender and the goalie, teed up her teammate perfectly for that goal, and Illinois State now up 4-0 as Catherine Felton finds the back of the wide open net. And for whatever momentum Missouri State had, it is gone. And I think we're going to have Valpo at the top of the table and Missouri State sitting in second when this is all said and done now.
I mean, you can be the overly optimistic and look at there's still time. But 3 goals, it's taken so much work for Missouri State to get the 1. And what was feeling like a coronation for Missouri State an hour and a half ago. And now they're looking at second place. And this was a big moment for Missouri State. They brought their whole roster. This would be their moment to celebrate. They were hoping to be able to get all their seniors in and be able to play as many subs as possible, and that is reality struck immediately and then has not let up. Ronig.
Yeah, I mean, just 6 minutes in, and boom, you're down 1-0 against, your first place going against last place, and 6 minutes in, you're down 1-0, and 10 minutes in, you're down 2-0. It's like, wait, what just happened? And it took them a little bit of time to recover. They actually nearly scored first on that corner kick that went just past the post inside the first 2 minutes. But after that, it was all Illinois State. Give the Redbirds credit off of the counterattack. That's what they did here in the second half. Got that early goal in the second half, and then didn't flinch when Missouri State scored. And continued to play like a team with confidence and like a team with nothing to lose. And here they're going forward again.
Baker. What a game she's had. Final home game at Adelaide Straight Field, and it could not have gone better for the Nebraskan. Senek. Trying to win it back was Jade Loftus. And I think what lessons playoff opponents can learn from this match. I mean, maybe dial up a 30-mile-an-hour breeze constantly from going up and down the field.
Yeah, but you can see how you can hit Missouri State on the counterattack, and that's what Illinois State has done today. Wind or no wind, they've been able to go back at them and to play aggressive. They haven't sat back and let Missouri State dictate the pace to them, and that's something that you could definitely take away from this game if you're scouting.
This one will trickle away, and it'll be a goal kick for Day. Glover in the 6th, Baker in the 10th, Aylard in the 54th, and Felton from Baker in the 68th. That's the 4 for Illinois State. Haley Chambliss gave Missouri State a ton of hope in the 59th with her goal, which was a beautiful one in traffic. This will trickle in front, midfield. And a long run coming way off line is Day. And she had to. Just can't allow that another breakaway opportunity. And what's interesting, Nathan, you had this defense for Missouri State has been so consistent this year. And if so many shutouts, 10 of them.
Yeah, that's the biggest surprise, I think, from today is, the last 6 wins had all been shutouts. They had allowed more than one goal just once, since very early September. And that's going to be a foul against Illinois State, which will set Missouri State up in a pretty good opportunity here. But, yeah, to come in against a team that had not scored at home in a long time, hadn't scored a whole lot all season. You mentioned 0.88 goals per game. So to come in here and to fall behind to that when you look at on paper, and that's why games aren't played on paper, right, is the old cliche, but you look at it, you definitely didn't expect it to be Illinois State 4 against this Missouri State defense.
2 teams have scored 4 against Missouri State this season. They're Oklahoma State and St. Louis, and 2 very good clubs at that. Here's Kaylee Benedict from Missouri, one of the many hometown girls on the team. Is there any magic? Ooh, a little hip check. It looked like it might have gone. They'll be able to slip past Brown. I think that's off Illinois State, so it'll be another corner kick. And we'll see who they trot over there.
Coming in for the Redbirds, number 10, Kelsey McLaughlin.
So again, McLaughlin's back in for Illinois State. That's not a defensive unit. That's still Illinois State has offensive players out there. You see McLaughlin. This could be a good one, promising. No one on the back end for Missouri State, and Illinois State survives another threat.
Yeah, just cleared that one out at the end. Able to get a foot on it, boot it out towards the sidelines, and regroup on defense now.
In front. And swept out. You think the something Missouri State's been very proud of this season is their you hear this a lot in women's soccer, but the family atmosphere, and for Missouri State it's broader. Their families, the players' families, are able to travel with the teams just by most of the players are from the greater Missouri area. They're from Kansas, from Missouri.
There were a few Missouri State flags out in the parking lot. They had the SUVs up. They were tailgating. They brought their dogs. They knew it was puppies on the pitch day, so they brought their dogs. And man, that whole back row was Missouri State fans in the parking lot tailgating out there today.
Yeah, they travel.
Makes a fun atmosphere, and they were hoping to have a regular season championship to cheer for. Still 17 minutes and change to make that happen. They got a lot of work to do.
And Brown's going to make it even harder. But if this result holds, that is going to feed that almost 400 miles back to campus is going to feel like 4,000. Oh, I thought that rolled out. Moline somehow able to keep that in. Crotty takes her time to throw it back in. And I think it's one of the more brutal aspects of soccer when one team's up, you're trying to rally, and everybody does it, but those little, everyone taking a couple extra seconds, whether it's the goalie or the throw in. You do the long range subs, you change out people on complete opposite corners of the field. We're in the 74th. And right now, Illinois State has the clock as their best friend and the field position as their friend. They've got everything going for them today.
Missouri State's really throwing the shots out there in this second half. They were even in halftime, 6-6 overall shots. Now it's 14-9 Missouri State, so they've outshot Illinois State 8-3 this half, but still a pair of goals for Illinois State in the half, and couldn't thread the needle on that feed through.
McLaughlin stays with it and quits the foul. Yeah, it's true. When you outshoot somebody, you don't get points for shots, though.
No. Shots on goal are 6-5 for Missouri State, and
I think that's a more telling.
Here.
I think that's a more telling number. Where you look at Missouri State this second half, they've been just anything volume, but when you break it down, that number you just had, where you take away just the errant shots, and still Illinois State,
they're
right there.
They're right there with them, and I think that was Kaylee Benedict, number 2, who limped off the field after that foul by McLaughlin. Yep, so they make a sub. Now with 15 minutes to go.
See a lot of the Missouri State players loosening up along the sideline. Just 15 minutes left. And Missouri State doesn't need a miracle, they need 2. And that's just
still 4-0 Valpo leading Indiana State in that one.
What a game by Valparaiso, too. A game, if you're looking at a clutch performance, you have a very hungry Indiana State that has everything, the Sycamores, everything to play for. And then Valparaiso crushes them.
They've put 24 shots up against Indiana State in that game. Shots are 24-9. Shots on goal are 10-6.
Shot here from Missouri State. Punched high by Brown. Much needed corner kick. It's almost now or never for Missouri State. Just the circumstance, you need 3. Here's the shot again. O'Keefe, Audrey Brown. It was played short, and Brown able to pluck it. So Brown off the corner kick. You can see that time in the background. Not much left. Ronig. English. The cross in front is right there. Well, there's the second.
Great play right there. Got to the end line, did English, moved it into the box, crossed it over, and able to find a teammate at that back post. And that's something they hadn't done so far today, is to run into the back post. They get it done here. And we see the cross comes through and went right through a couple that were at the back post, or in the middle, I should say, and into the back post. Benedict, who left injured just a couple of minutes ago, gets the goal here.
So that's the second one they need. Now things get really crazy if they get a third goal, and there's time for it. Like there has been crazier things in soccer, but with no stoppage time, with no overtime, Missouri State still has a big hill to climb, but they've clawed back a little bit. They struck back after the Ehlert goal in the 54th minute. They just struck back here with Benedict scoring for the Bears' second goal of the afternoon. They need to hustle. We're in the 77th minute out of 90. And if you thought entering today, if Missouri State scores twice, you'd have taken it. you would initially have taken it.
Grace English got the assist on that goal.
Man, if Missouri State gets a third goal now, what timing that one sailed. But you see,
12 minutes and 15 seconds left. So, yeah, you get one, you start to put that pressure on, and then you take advantage of a mistake. So, it probably needs to come in the next 5 minutes or so to really give a good chance.
The pace of the game would turn manic if you're able to score in the next 5. That last 7 minutes would be completely hectic.
And Illinois State can't waste the clock by subbing in, because in the last 5 minutes, the team leading, when they sub, the clock stops. So it's one thing that you can't do. You can waste it by taking the ball to the corner, or taking a few extra seconds on a goal kick, but you can't just constantly sub in and out and run the clock that way.
Interesting decision. Just punch that way out wide. It'll be a throw-in for Missouri State. You see it up there. 11:20 to go. And that's it. When that gets 0, the match is over. Ronig. They play it short corner. Ronig's there for help if they need, and just whipping it around was Crouch. Missouri State will have to win this ball back. Illinois State looking to seal a victory.
Been so good on the counter all day today, and sprinting that one across midfield quickly.
It's just all the pieces came together for the Redbirds. Glover got everything started in the 6th minute. Baker bumped off the ball. Much needed goal kick. And a long way to go, and not a long time to get there. We're in the 80th. Another throw-in for Missouri State. Letting all the players press up. Only got one defender back now. Headed high, can be settled down. A one-timer is just wide.
Good effort there for Missouri State. Tried it from distance, put the challenge in on Brown, and she might have had that post covered with the dive, but that was close.
Yeah, this was too close for Illinois State. Great effort there from Brown.
Yeah, I think she did have the post covered. Now able to take some time, too, off of the clock, off that goal kick, and get it out near midfield. Bears have got to hurry.
Great effort by Kaylee Benedict on that last shot. They might need another one. We're inside 10 minutes to play. Brown trying to come offline, and Missouri State keeps it in play. Another drive off the side of the net. So 2 shots in quick succession by Missouri State, and you wonder about fatigue now on that Illinois State defense, because they've been under duress for the whole half, and even exponentially more so over the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, there's been 12 shots. It's been 5 on goal in the second half for Missouri State, and there's been a lot of pressure put on by Illinois State, and we've seen them throughout the year kind of make some bad passes playing out of the back. Today they haven't done that.
Oh, they've been steady. We're in the 82nd. And a misplay there. And those are the careless plays. If you tighten that up, if you're Illinois State, you win this game. Taken quickly away by Glover. Just as quickly back by Benedict. Long pass. Wynn batting it down. Illinois State with a breakout chance here, but a whistle, and it will be a free kick for Illinois State. At this point, now things looking really good for the Redbirds. And the clock running, and you're not getting to the point of no return, but it's getting close. The Redbirds scored twice in 4 minutes at the beginning of this match. A feat that Missouri State might have to duplicate. Ronig, not enough on that ball. We're in the 83rd.
No change in Valpo, still 4-0. They are a little bit ahead of us.
A cross in front, but it was covered well by Illinois State. That defense has been outstanding. And free kick for Missouri State in a gotta-have-it type of situation.
Yeah, they're into the 87th minute in Valpo. UIC 1, SIU 0, and they're in the 82nd minute.
O'Keefe sends it in. It's headed out. Can Illinois State control this? They just send it away, downrange, down to the wind, all the way to Cam Day. Another throw-in coming up. '84th minute. Missouri State has been getting chances here late. They don't get one on this juncture. Can they win it back? Baker.
Nice move.
Nice pass. If she's onside. The cross in front. Oh, that would have been devastating if Illinois State could have connected on it. That's a foul on the Redbirds.
Either way, though, they just ran a good chunk of clock off by getting that ball all the way down into the Missouri State box. They're making Missouri State work it back upfield now.
And we're in the 85th minute from Adeline Street Field. Illinois State has been knocking on the door all conference season long, looking for that first win. And they're under 5 minutes away from getting it. And just a shank.
Stop
86th
the
minute
clock
now.
There, and I think we got a player down. We got an Illinois State player down.
Again, a 6th minute goal by Haley Glover, 10th minute by Allison Baker, 54th minute goal by Emily Ehlert, and that put everything on high, senses high, DEFCON level 5 for Missouri State. They struck back in the 59th. just a few moments after that Ehlert goal, with Haley Chambliss getting her 6th goal of the season. And then what appeared to be the knockout punch with a pass from Allison Baker, setting up Catherine Felton in the 68th. And then the most recent goal, making it within reach, Kaylee Benedict in the 77th. And right now, clock frozen as we get everything reset. 86th minute. Illinois State is just this close to picking up that much sought-after win and building some momentum for next year, some positive vibes. Turn this year into just pure growing pains.
When you talk about something to build on, not only a victory in 4 minutes or so against Missouri State, but they drew 0-0 with Valpo. That was here on October 8th.
Those are the two top teams, yeah.
So those are the two top teams, and didn't lose to either one of them. That's something definitely to build on and to talk about, and these are the films to watch for Coach Kresge and her team, building into next year.
Headed almost, but to the left of goal. It was right there. And the sand in the hourglass is just almost gone now. And the party on the flip side, under 4 minutes away from roaring into life for Illinois State and all those pooches out in the grandstands. Maybe that's what was needed. It was just pooches in the pup
good
day.
luck, dogs.
Whatever, yeah.
Gotta have them at every game next year. Throw it here for the Redbirds, and again, time to run as much clock as possible. Less than 5 minutes to go up in Chicago. UIC 1, SIU 0 as they battle for third place. Both those teams are going to get the first round byes.
Redbirds shaping up for an exclamation point. This will take it all the way to the corner, killing more time. Throw in for Missouri State, and they got the whole length of the field and not much time
Indiana
to deal
State
with.
Did score. They got a penalty kick with 48 seconds to play. So it's now 4-1 there for Valpo.
We're in the 88th minute here at Adelaide Street Field. And Missouri State is on the wrong side of midfield, the wrong third. Stuck defending. Illinois State has played. They saved their best game of the year for last, all things considered. And the win versus Western Illinois, that was a big relief. The 5-1 victory against Lindenwood, the shutout draw against Valparaiso a couple weeks ago. This one just feels different. And the throw in from Sarah Ohitwa. And we're inside 2 minutes to go. And the seniors who rarely get to play, the back players, the ghost has been given up by Missouri State. A bunch of players able to come in. Hannah Peterson, the senior, in goal for the final regular season game. Now, all is not lost for Missouri State. They will be a top 2 team in the conference, but that sealing, the first seed, sealing the outright conference title, well, that one is evaporated. They still have a lot to play for in the conference tournament coming up shortly. There's 1 minute left. And you think all that hard work by Illinois State enduring all those losses, they're less than 60 seconds away from roaring into joy.
I wonder if they'll get a big holiday card or bouquet from Valpo helping to secure the #1 seed in the regular season championship.
I think Valparaiso will give them all the Halloween candy they could possibly hope for.
Yeah, send it on down, right?
All the candy corn, all the little Reese's, everything.
Valpo and Missouri State still seem on a collision course for that title game. We'll see how Missouri State bounces back from this. They have until November 3rd. That's when the semifinals will happen.
10 seconds left, and we'll let you hear it. Illinois State wins 4-2.
High fives around for Illinois State. They had never gone through a Missouri Valley Conference season winless, and they won't this year either. They waited